Hey, it's Rich back at Pacific Air Center today, finally getting a chance to do the Phenom 300 video, which I've been looking forward to. It's an airplane I don't have a whole lot of time in. I got my type rating in it a little while earlier this year, and really excited to fly it. This is a 2015 with G3000, and we'll talk more about the airplane once we get going. The Phenom 300 from Embraer is the largest and most popular of the light jets, and the largest single pilot jet. And it's done really well. The current production has G3000 avionics, 9 passenger plus 2 crew, Pratt & Whitney engines, full FADEC, 45,000 foot service ceiling, and 450 knots. Really nice size cabin, performance, a lot of baggage space. The airplane's just done really well in the marketplace. Okay, here we are taxiing out finally in the Phenom 300 that I've been talking about more than once on a previous video. And I'm flying this morning with Jon Spano from Traffic Management, who owns this airplane. And John and I met, like, what was it, maybe 2011?
Yeah.
And
right.
John was not yet a pilot. And it's one of my favorite stories to tell because he progressed, to make a long story short, he progressed through private instrument, commercial, Cessna 206, Caravan, Mustang, Phenom 300. He flies helicopters. When I met John, I had way more experience than he did, and he kind of lapped me on
I don't know about that.
on jet time. For sure. And what do you got in the Phenom 300 now?
Oh, probably, I don't know, maybe 800 hours, 1,000 hours?
Yeah. So the plan today is a typical, I think, mission for John. We're going to Long Beach to Bakersfield. What do you got, a meeting in Bakersfield? Or are you picking somebody up?
We're picking up a passenger in Bakersfield,
right,
for a meeting in Concord.
Right. So passenger in Bakersfield, then we're flying up to Concord for most of the day. You'll be there, and then back to Long Beach.
Yeah, that's correct.
So this airplane, a lot of people know it as being the the kind of the pinnacle of single pilot jet airplanes. Really fast, handles really well, great interior, and just an all-around real market performer in terms of single pilot jets, and really any jet.
And I think that one thing that has really proven to be accurate is its cost efficiency for what you get, for the speed you get, the number of seats you get, the range you get. There's really not much out there that beats this aircraft.
Yeah.
And as we've been looking at possibly even buying a bigger aircraft, it's really just astonishing how much more it costs to operate per seat mile than this airplane is. So it really is an amazing airplane, I have to say.
It really is. And then on top of all that, there's it's the hands down winner of ramp appeal. I mean, this airplane just looks so good. And the big air stair door and the performance, it's really tough to beat the Phenom 300. They really knocked it out of the park with this airplane.
All right, takeoff configuration is set. CAS messages are clear. Signs outlet switch is set. Yaw dampener is off. Passengers have been briefed, and lights are as required. So takeoff checks are complete. Clear for takeoff, runway 30, 5 Hotel Echo.
Takeoff. Okay.
All righty. Yeah, this aircraft has so much power. Power to weight ratio is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it really is. So when you fly the other airplanes, you really get a feel for that.
So I like to line up center in the runway. Now we're full fuel, so it's not so bad, but just in case, and then I like to get the power set.
Number 2, following traffic 1 mile final runway.
Make sure the engines spool evenly. Okay, airspeed is alive and cross-check. All systems are green, 70 knots, panels clear, 90 knots, and we have V1 rotation.
419er, number 3, runway 26 up, clear for the option.
Number 3, 265, 419er.
Positive rate, gears coming up. Okay, 200 feet. And 400 feet to flap speed.
This is the one everybody wants to see. So there's 200 knots in the climb at 3,000 feet a minute.
And we're heavy.
Phenom 5 Hotel Echo, climbing maintain 9,000.
9,000, 5 Hotel Echo. And what's really nice about this airplane, because of this climb performance, this amazing climb performance you have, you know, above LAX's departures before you even hit to LAX.
Right, which makes a big difference.
It really does.
It really does. Yeah, and you don't really get the feel for that until you have an airplane like this.
Yeah, or taking off out of Denver in the summer. You know, you can get over the thunderstorms over the Rockies, you know, before, because there's a lot of buildup happens over the Rockies, and you can get over that stuff.
Right.
And in other aircraft that I've flown, even other jets that I've owned, it can be difficult to do that.
Hotel Echo, clear direct Gorman, climb maintain 1,000.
Here we are basically over LAX, and we're passing 10,000 feet.
So say I'm going to Sacramento, you know, which is an hour flight. I'll probably climb up to the mid-30s, 35, 37. At 37,000 feet, we can do 460 knots, 470 knots.
For flight level 190.
Southwest 11,
It's amazing.
LA Center, contact LA Center.
Now, obviously, it's most efficient up in the 40s.
So if you're going long distance, do you typically go to 45?
I'll always go right up to 45.
Yeah.
Always.
Just because of fuel?
Unless I'm at max gross weight, I might go to 41 and maybe hang out there for half an hour or something like that, and then go to 45. Or, you know, if the temperature is really good, then you could go all the way to 45. But
right. So you say a half hour.
And you could do it. You could go all the way to 45 in this airplane, direct, full max gross, all the way to 45. It's just going to be slow climb. The last few thousand feet, you're going to be climbing at like a couple hundred feet a minute between 41 and 45.
Yeah.
If you're heavy, and it's, you know, and it's like ISA plus 15 or something like that, you know.
You guys also have the G1000 version of this airplane. And I can tell, I mean, you have a lot more time in the G1000, but there's just certain things that you actually prefer about G1000 in there.
Yeah, so I have a lot of experience with the G1000 Phenom and a little bit with this aircraft, but have flown the G3000 in several other aircraft. And I think that there are just some things that it does better, and there's some things, in my opinion, the G1000 does better. So there's some things that require more pressing and, you know, aircraft systems, electrical, you know, or environmental control or fuel. These things I can do in the G1000 almost instantly, and I know it's only a couple more seconds, or maybe even a second, but when you have a lot going on, you're flying a single pilot jet in IMC, those seconds make a big difference, you know. Yeah. So maybe it's just a matter of experience, and maybe the more experience you get, there are some things that are really nice about this, that you can split the screen up, so I can put, you know, a chart, you know, I can load an approach plate on the right screen. I don't know if you can see it, if the glare is kind of cutting it out, you know, and I can put, you know, I can put radar on, you know, this other screen over here. So there's really a lot you can do. With this system, so I can have 14000 5 Hotel Echo. So there's a lot of features and a lot of really nice things that you can do that give you more, maybe just more information displayed on your screens, which is nice.
Right.
And you do have a little bit more control over the audio panels and stuff. It just takes you longer to do certain things. One of the things that is really great about this aircraft is the number of systems that are automatic.
Yeah. That's a big difference.
They really did a good job of building in a lot of automatic systems into this airplane, which when you fly another airplane like a 525, or even the Mustang, which I found the Mustang probably has some of the most things you have to do out of any of the aircraft I've flown. Where this aircraft, I mean, you really, once you're in a groove and you're flying it regularly, it's really quick to get in this airplane and go.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's that comes from this airplane was a clean sheet design. I don't remember the first year. It was probably 11.
It was certified in 2011.
Yeah. So, and it's the first airplane.
Echo contact Bakersfield approach 118.8.
118.8, 5 Hotel Echo.
You know, it's the first airplane or the first like general aviation generation airplanes from Embraer, where Cessna had all that. I mean, baggage isn't the right word, but they had a lot of jet that the Mustang, a lot of jet experience developing that the Mustang kind of got, where Embraer really automated a lot of stuff. And,
yep.
And you can really tell when you fly both these airplanes.
5 Hotel Echo, clear direct Lima 45.
Direct Del 45, 5 Hotel Echo. This aircraft has amazing brakes, and if you're not careful, it can make you look like a pretty bad pilot.
Yeah.
Because it really will throw you forward, and your passengers, if they're not ready, they will lose their things.
Yeah.
Bakersfield traffic, November 9 or 5 Hotel Echo's a Phenom jet. We're on the downwind. It's going to be left base for runway 16, Bakersfield traffic. So winds are calm here. Pretty much a little light crosswind, but. Gave myself a nice long downwind. Just Bakersfield traffic, November 9 or 5 Hotel Echo is departing runway 34, Bakersfield traffic. Cross check. You gotta be kidding me. Good morning, Oakland Center, November 9 or 5 Hotel Echo 217, claiming 220.
95 Hotel Echo, Oakland Center, good morning.
Morning.
It's 220 the final?
I think so. I think I filed only 220.
Okay, so we just are leveling off at 220 on the way from Bakersfield to Concord, which is up in the Bay Area. Airplane's accelerating through 250 knots indicated. So I think based on some feedback I've got from some of the videos and some of the people that I've talked to that have watched them, they're always interested to know more about, you know, like the people that are operating these airplanes, how you got started flying, you know, a little bit of your history on getting the experience you have, and you know, and also maybe talk a little bit about the helicopter too. I think people would be interested to hear your background.
27.4.
So my history with aviation is pretty short-lived.
Skywest 944 Charlie, good day. Good, 1946.
About 6 years ago, we were looking at buying an aircraft, largely because of the depreciation. Our business was doing well, and our financial people told us that it would be a good way to actualize an expense that is fully deductible because we have multiple offices in different parts of the state, And as the person that runs the operations, who at the time was spending a lot of time on airlines or driving around California, you know, a little light bulb went off and was like, oh, wow, this could be fun. And, you know, I could fly around and get to see my operations more frequently and have some fun and learn something new. And so we bought a 206. And I just got hooked right away, started just flying all over the place, and I think that it made me more confident to open other offices in other parts of the state, such as Bakersfield or Fresno, that are otherwise difficult to get to from Southern California without spending an entire day driving, or you really can't do it on the airlines. So it kind of encouraged me to do more with the company, and because I was loving flying. So then we bought the Caravan, so we put more employees in it, and more people, and more stuff, and it's a little faster than the 206. So I started flying the Caravan with probably 200 hours of flight time.
Yeah.
And I probably built a few hundred hours in the Caravan, if that, maybe 200 hours, 250, before we bought the Citation Mustang, probably 6 months later.
And that was in 13, I remember.
Yeah, so I had, when I started flying the Mustang, less than 500 hours total time. Accumulated in probably like a year and a half.
Yeah, because when I met you, you didn't have a private, and the 206 you guys took delivery of in 11.
That's correct.
And you started taking lessons, I think, in 12.
That's correct.
Yeah, Delta 473, request flight level 260. Delta 473, I have the request to just be a minute or two.
So we're
Alaska 1898, contact Oakland.
22,000 feet, 315 knots indicated, and doing 450 knots over the ground with a 10-knot tailwind. 440 knots true. A little crosswind. See if I can put this down on the numbers. Okay, gears down, green, three green, down locked.
Here's 7 Delta Golf, runway 26 left, line up and wait, traffic downwind.
I don't want to hit that hard.
Line up and wait,
could have done it,
left, 7 Delta Golf.
Yeah, nice. Oh, that looks like an Eastern Airlines airplane.
To hit the numbers, you gotta smack it down pretty hard, you know, and like.
Yeah, 5 select, you can turn left there at Foxtrot 4, taxi parking.
Fox 4 to parking, thanks. 5 tackle. And there you go.
November 7 Delta Golf, make left traffic.
Saved a couple more minutes on the taxi.
7 Delta Golf, left traffic, 26
At
left.
least.
I don't even have to talk to ground.
Check 60 Tango, runway 26 left, line up and wait, traffic downwind.
Let's see, I don't know where he wants.
Okay, we're back in Long Beach after our little trip today that we did with Jon Spano and his Phenom 300. And you know, as I think I mentioned earlier, the Phenom 300 is kind of the pinnacle of single pilot jets, and it really is all the things I think the market has made it out to be with the success the airplane's had. Performance, cabin, the ramp appeal, the big air stair door, kind of some of the next level of automation that the airplane has designed into it just really makes it a really great market performer. There's a lot of them, they're selling a lot of them, people love them. Like John mentioned in the video, they've had really good experience with Embraer supporting the airplanes, and you know, it's just really hard to to find something negative on the airplane. And I haven't flown it that much. Like I said, I got my type rating in it in May, and I've probably got 50 hours in the airplane. But I know from flying it in the time that I have flown, I know that it's a pretty special airplane, and it's going to continue to do well. It doesn't mean there's not some other great airplanes in this category, but it's just I think the Phenom 300 has kind of made the top of the list. And anyway, we had a great time flying it. It's always fun to get to spend some time with Jon, and he's really come up fast through flying and had a lot of success with it, and also integrating aviation into their business, as he talked about, which is kind of a great thing for me to see, a company that has used aviation to really to grow their business. And I'm happy that they've been able to do it, and I'm happy that they're right here in Southern California. So anyway, this wraps up this video. It's been a while since I made a video, but we're going to try to step up the pace a little bit. I got a couple of other airplanes that we're going to be working on doing videos for. One of them's right behind me here. I got a Turbo 210 that we just purchased for a customer. A really nice airplane. It's got a lot of upgraded avionics in it. And this is our other hangar, by the way. And we're also going to do a video on the SR-22 back here. That was recently purchased by another one of our customers. It's going to be based with us. And then we've got a Lancer 400. Three, pretty interesting piston engine airplanes. And so we'll try to get those in the mix too. For sure the Cirrus. And the Waco's coming up. So we got a lot of stuff to do. It's just hard to find the time to do these videos. I'm by no means a professional at putting out videos, so it's a lot of work for me. But I'm seeing some benefit to it. And the biggest benefit is people think they're productive and they enjoy watching them. And so if you do like the videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel and give me a call. Let me know if you're looking at something. As I always say, I'm always happy to talk about airplanes, and thanks for the feedback from the people that have communicated with me. All right, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.